Hi, welcome to my channel. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Risk assessment in maritime transportation. One of the main concerns of ship designers, shipbuilders, and ship owners is the safety of ships at sea. There are enormous penalties for the lack of safety in terms of lives lost, damage to the environment and to cargo, which all involved with the maritime industries want to avoid. This has been reflected in the attention given to both the design and building activities and to the operation of the ships and the education and training of the ship's operator. However, the use of formalized approaches to the quantification of risk in probabilistic terms has laid somewhat behind other industries, such as nuclear and process, for example, in which often the very high consequences of accident have motivated the adoption of this method. The use of formalized procedures to quantify risk and to support decisions based on these quantifications have been changing within the maritime industries, and this paper aims at providing an overview of the efforts that have been made in that direction. The overall quantification of the risk levels existing in maritime transportation can be estimated on the basis of studies based on accident statistics. The studies allow the identification of the time evolution of the levels of safety in the global activity, the differentiation of safety in the different types of ships, ship size, ages, and etc. They were probably the first type of studies that address safety levels, and updates based on data that are more recent have been regularly published. One problem that has always been a major concern among the different types of accidents was the foundering of ships, which normally led to the loss of lives of most of the crew and passengers. The situation can occur as the result of capsizing leading to water intake. In addition, collision or other similar type of damage can lead to water intake, which can only be controlled by subdividing the ship in watertight compartments so that there are always enough intake once to provide the necessary buoyancy. The accident of the Titanic in 1914 is an example of a case in which it was believed that this concept had been implemented to such an extent as to make this ship foolproof to this type of whaler. The study of the subdivision of ship in watertight compartment was probably one of the early ones in which probabilistic assessment of risk of failure were made. A whole theory of damage stability based on probabilistic approaches has been developed and is presently under continued development and implementation into international regulations. Structural failure is another major cause of failure and loss of integrity of the hull, leading often to total loss of the ships and passengers. Structural reliability theory has been used for some time to quantify the probability of these failures and the contribution of different components to it. In practice, this development have been used most often for probabilistic design and code calibration than for quantifying the real overall level of safety. The reason is that many of the contributors for the major part of the accidents are human errors in all phases of the process, such as design, construction, and operation, and not the residual risk inherent in the design decision. Watertight integrity was often produced by fatigue cracks that developed during ship's life, although they would not normally lead to total failure of the ships. However, these structural failures can lead to major costs in repairs, and in this area, reliability approaches have been used to quantify the risk of crack growth and to plane maintenance. The idea that operation is probably the main contributor to the accident in this activity has given increasingly more attention to the study of the activities, and formalized risk assessment have gradually become more common in different areas of this activity. Work has started in different localized topics such as, for example, analysis of population, systems of steering gears with techniques such as bolt tree analysis and failure mode and evac analysis, and has generalized to other topics. Recently, concern about the poor management standard and the contribution of the human error and management shortcomings on marine casualties have motivated the introduction of the International Safety Management, or ISM. The ISM code is directly related to personal and crew competence and general operational aspects of shipping, and since there is a clear requirement for the operator to demonstrate that he has an effective safety management system that addresses all identified risks and provides proper controls for dealing with these risks, it follows that this can only be achieved if a risk assessment approach is adopted. Another interesting development is the increasingly larger adoption by the International Maritime Organization, or IMO, of these types of approaches as basis for decisions leading to regulation of the maritime transportation activity. This organization has coined as formal safety approach, or FSA, the type of studies that use formalized analysis and quantification of risk as basis for rational decisions, and has in fact promoted several of these type of studies for problems that were of major concern in the industry. This paper reviews different approaches that have been developing with time, presenting an updated account of their present status. The statistics about the frequency of casualty provide an overall view about levels of safety involved in the shipping activity. They allow the quantification of the real safety levels for different ship types as well as the main model of failure. Several papers have been published on this topic, updating the statistics or providing new emphasis on a particular aspect. Since the overall picture has been relatively stable, there is no intention here to carefully review and compare published statistics, but solely to present some data that support the overall characterization of the situation. One of the oldest data banks that is often the basis for most of the studies of global statistics is operated by Lloyd's. They consider the following categories of accident. Founder includes the ships that sank as a result of heavy weather, springing of leaks, breaking into, and other causes that don't fit in the other categories. Fire and explosion covers the cases in which fire and explosion were the first event reported. Collision includes ship lost as a result of striking or being struck by another ship. Contact covers the cases in which the ship collides with another external body, which is not a ship, nor the bottom. This category only started being recorded after 1980, being included in collision before that date. Wreck or standard includes the ship loss as a result of touching the sea bottom. Hull or machinery damage includes the accidents that were initiated by one such failure. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.